Is this still working? Over?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. We are close.
Go or no go for liftoff.
And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, just winding my way through. The control room is very messy here this evening. I don't know what was going on here. I think most of the action, as usual, will be over in the green room tonight. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to check with the Bob and Steve show to see what they've cooked up, but it looks very good as usual over that way, and it is beginning to look like, not like Christmas, but a lot like 2021. Let me get into the studio here. They didn't even take down the Christmas decorations, so I just left them up. I figured that would work for another transmission here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Hi, everybody. My name is Dennis, your net control operator for this evening on what we call the Old Tube Radio Network, a gathering of radio stations and friends on 27085 Channel 11. It's been happening for a long, long time. And our purpose is to, one, just get on the air and say hello, and two, of course, to take a drive on the old tube radios that some of us have in our collection, and also to hang out and listen to that, just to remember what it might have sounded like, or it did sound like back in the late 50s, 1960s, and 70s when these radios were brand new. And you will hear tonight, a lot of them sound like they are brand new. It is the first week of the new 8-week roster, and somewhere, where did they put it? Oh, yes, I have what did they have in here? M&Ms. There are no M&Ms in here. It would have been nice to leave a few M&Ms, but in here are the SWLs that had perfect attendance, so I can pull one out and establish the 00, our new 00, thanks to Mike, SWL 47, who actually might be in the mix here, because I think he had perfect attendance. To see, okay, I've got one. To see who will be on my 00 list. Somebody's been playing with the microphone. It probably was me. And we have SWL, where is it? 45. SWL 45, that's Paul up there in North Fork. Paul, 45, are you listening over?
Yeah, try it again. All right, 45.
Yeah, sounding good. All right, we'll make this the official check-in. Of course, I will be calling you on the usual page 2 number, I think it is, but let me see. Let me kick in the 00, and I have to put in the right, where is it? There it is. Okay. I have everything up where it's supposed to be. Official, I've got the pocket protector. I don't know where the official pocket protector pin is. I may have to run and get that. It's somewhere here. I thought I had it with me, but we'll do that at the, is that it? No, that's not it either. All right. It's probably down in the green room, so I'll pick it up before we start the tube radios, because the pocket protector is looking a little bit empty. I am decked out in the OTR official shirt. Yeah, there it is. I know who I am. And we are ready and waiting patiently, more than patiently, for 2021 to show up. All right, 00 is in. Thanks, Paul. We'll get also the cosmic check-in for SWL number 1, Dr. J. And let me see if Mr. OBP is around. And indeed, he is there. Hello, Kevin. He's up on the video chat. We should be on 27085 if you're in the RF zone here in Central California. Or maybe if they're skipped tonight, try us out on Channel 11. You can also click on the YouTube link somewhere if you don't already have that. And I believe it shows up if you go to oldtuberadio.net, .net, and that's the audio stream as well. What's Mr. OBP have to say? The sunspot number is 31. I was listening in today, and it just seemed lousy. But, of course, my antennas are lousy. It seemed like I was barely hearing anybody on 20 meters, barely hearing anybody on 17, 40 meters. I couldn't even hear the swap net. So I don't know what's going on. But it is, with 31, that's better than 0. It's been 0 for a long, long time. Thanks, Kevin, for checking into the update. SWL number 3, I've got a proxy check-in for Rob. Got to get my list going here. SWL 4. You know, everything is just, I don't know who was in here. The table is kind of all out of sorts. Someone was drawing schematics of something. Maybe the engineering crew was here. Maybe able to make this stuff work right. SWL number 5. And that would be Ida, Mama Rose. I do have a check-in for her. I did see her a couple of days ago, but she is around and doing well. SWL 6. SWL 7.
SWL 7 checking in.
Checking in and sounding good, getting the frequency warmed up for us before the net. Trying to catch up here. And this, if you're playing the home game, look for the 12/26/2020 portion of your home game. That's where we are at here tonight. Then we go over to SWL 10 up there in beautiful, albeit perhaps chilly Idaho. And Chrissy Miller is on and in tonight. Hello, Chrissy. I don't know if we will have any colorful radios or green radios tonight, but I know we will have some that do glow in the dark. So we've got you checked in. Then over to SWL 13, and I will keep an eye on the comments and the lists. Sometimes I'm not really good at doing, but looks like the comments are working on the page, which is good. So keep an eye out on that. And if you'd like, you can try to leave a comment somewhere, and someone will see it and relay it to us if that is something we need to do. Over to, also you can check in on Facebook. I will occasionally check that here at the Old Tube CB Radio Network. Over to SWL 14. SWL 15. SWL 16. And I've got to check in for Charles, I think. Let me go. I don't even know who's out there. I know Woodland Park, Colorado is in there. Derby, New York, who helped me earlier get in the door. I forgot my keys. Has some little, Chet has some little trick to get through the door in the back. And it worked. And I found my key, so thanks, Chet, for that. We got things up and running early. I don't think there'll be any problems tonight. We've got Squamish. Yeah, the BC crew is in, waving a hand and wishing everyone a very happy new year. Hello to Centerville, Virginia. Dallas, Georgia will be in with you. Also in on or near Marietta, Georgia. Oakland, California, San Francisco, Brooklyn, New York, San Borton, New Hampshire. Is it New Hampshire? I don't have the right way to say that. And some local stations tuning in as well. So Charlie is in. Let me click the button here. SWL 17. SWL 18. Get to 18 checked in. That is Mikey from Facebook. SWL 19 is definitely in. And let's see, I didn't see Anoka, so I'll put a check mark by that, but still showing up as Belfast. But that's okay. We know where you're at. Have your email forwarded. So you won't miss out. Let's go over to, and I can't remember, I don't have, I redid the list, so I don't have the post-it. But let's see if Harvey from the West Side is live or direct tonight. SWL 20. I think he told me to check him in because he wasn't sure where he was going to be. Might even be listening. Might be one of the, you might be one of the unknown SWLs. I see a couple of you up there wearing the paper bags over your heads. There are a couple of unknown SWLs. SWL 21, the infamous, or is that super famous, the infamous JT, DD21 from the Wasama Swamps of South Carolina, where tonight, what was going on? I think he said he was working on the ground route, so he was tired, but he might be listening in. And let me see if I got the replay. He was working on the ground route, so that's me. Tired, but he might be listening in. I like that. I'm hearing... And let me see if I'm hearing the replay. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, that's me. But he might be now there's a whole bunch of me. I like that. I'm hearing... And let me see if I'm hearing the replay. Let me see if I can do that. Let's do that. Oh, I like that. All right. But what I really am looking for is 21, the Pimp, Courier Royale, and the BL21 reverse preamp is what he was on tonight. Do I have a picture of that? Yeah, you know what? I can get a picture of that. Let me switch over to this camera. There is JT's Courier Royale. For those of you who don't have the pictures, he was on the 23-channel Courier Royale and also the negative, the BL100 reverse preamp, which is the matching like a business band Courier amp, which doesn't show up in that picture. Let me see if the audio's on tonight. I'm taking a long transmission. Let me see if he's got some audio.
Yeah, Dennis is on here right now. Tell Dennis hello there, Dennis. Roger, I was hoping that you would sing him a belated Christmas song.
They always got something cooked up.
Radio Network, like something pertaining to Old Tube Radio Network and Christmas there. I know you could come up with something real quick. I got nothing for Christmas. I got nothing for Christmas. But I'll be happy listening to that Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Nobody bought me a thing. I didn't get my old diamond rings. But I'm going to listen to that Old Tube Radio Network tonight. All right, I know he'll have like that.
That's better than Mel Torme and Sinatra put together. Original music. We don't have to worry about any copyright stuff when we do that. Well, thanks. Thanks for the song. We appreciate it here at the Old Tube Radio Network, and you've gone worldwide once again. And thanks, JT, for the old radio night. Check it out. Happening at a. What is it, on Channel 12? It's usually on Channel 12, near the Wasama Swamps or online as well. Thanks, JT. SWL 22, Mark in East Texas. I don't see Mark on just yet. Keep an eye out there. Over to SWL 23. 23 Skidoo, who I thought might be out there. I don't see him on the list. Sometimes he shows up from various locations. I have to see where he's going to be tonight. SWL 24. SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis, 25, checking in.
Sounding good. Hope all is well out on the ranch this evening.
Yeah, everything's just very good. Great Christmas and plenty of food, boy, I tell you. But anyway, thanks for checking me in, Dennis.
And thanks for being out there to be checked in. You are sounding good. And Jerry is one of the net controllers on the Wednesday night sideband net that is on 10 meters at 10 Miatros at 28,445 here in the Central Valley at 8 p.m. Pacific regular time on Wednesday evening. So if you're local, give it a listen. If you're local and you've got what is it? What do you need? Technician ticket to be up there or better? Give us a call. Give the call on the network, or if the listen in, if the conditions are open. Everybody is welcome to check in during the visitors section. Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Dennis.
Now, let's see. I got to turn the page. And we are looking for SWL 27.
Number 27, checking in via the FM crossband. KI6QM.
It's pretty cool that it happens. We hear Dwayne coming through, but we don't see the S meter moving or doing anything. That's because he's over on the crossband radio, which is here. So I will, if I don't break it, that's not the right microphone. If I grab the right microphone, and we will say, thank you, Dwayne. You are checked in. KB6GFD.
Thanks, Dennis.
It's funny how that works. I almost know how to do that simultaneously at the same time. So Dwayne is checked in. SWL 28, Gary in Sacramento, and I know he is out there saying good evening, checking in the green room, serving leftovers tonight. I know there was a plate of stuff. There was so much food here last night. I have a feeling there will be some other items as well. And rumor has it they may be giving, they've got the big limousine out there. They may be giving rides in the limousine tonight. I'm going to see if I can, I've got a picture somewhere of the limo. So if you, when you come to check in, sign up for the limo rides. You will enjoy it. It says, anyone turned my wallet and lost it? Oh, no. During the cha-cha contest last night. Well, just backtrack, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 3, 4. So it's go 4, 3, 2, 1. And ach, and you will find it. You just retrace your steps. Hope you find it, Gary. Thanks for checking in. Also got a check-in for SWL 29, Mr. Loner. And a check-in for the infamous RFI, otherwise known as Dwayne, up there in Idaho as well. SWL 31, that is Robert and Teresa in Hendersonville. I don't see anybody from Tennessee yet tonight. I bet they will be in shortly. SWL 32. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, anybody that hangs around the control room here. Get them checked in on, you can write in on 33, no problem. And then up to Batavia, Illinois for SWL 34, Mr. Railroader. Don't see him in yet. Let me go to I didn't refresh my screen, but I will. Let's see if, I'll do the refresh. I'm looking for Mr. Bill, SWL 35 out of Cheyenne, Wyoming tonight. Over to SWL 36. Shortwave listener 37.
This is Proxy Chris in.
All right, got a proxy check-in for Christopher. Thank you. SWL 38. And there is, I refreshed my page. It just takes a long time to come up on that. I think there's a bad tube in my computer here. I see you, Bill. I see you, Mr. Bill. If you're waving a hand, you are. Checking in from Cheyenne. Says, Happy New Year to all. Proxy for 37. Nothing for 38. How about SWL 39? SWL 40. And he was around earlier. I'll give Larry a proxy check, and he'll probably stop back by shortly.
He's out pedaling his bicycle.
Oh, that's right. All right, might hear him on the crossband. Thank you. Yeah, might hear him check in on the crossband tonight. Thanks. So we'll get him checked in. And then let me go over to SWL 41, and he's got a Road Dog. You've got a good connection. You have no lag. Whenever I look over it, there you are. From beautiful New York somewhere, Hudson Valley, of course. Saying hello to myself and all the SWLs and old tube radio operators. WWS 507. Thank you, Road Dog X in the square. Let's try Mr. KW, SWL 42.
Yeah, he was going to try and make it, but he had something come up, so we'll proxy him into gaining.
Yeah, I talked to him on 2 meters. He was on. So live and direct. We got an FM and an AM, I think, as well. So I'll get him in the group. Over to SWL 43. I got a note to check in Crazy Eddie, and I will do that. SWL 44. Ray is out there somewhere. He was on, I saw him on Old Radio Night tonight. So Ray, if you're listening, you might be on my screen and have scrolled, might have scrolled away. I don't know, but I'm getting you checked in. And then the guy that got us started off, who was sitting in front of at least one, right? At least one tube radio. And if he happens to look up, down, to the left, to the right, there'll probably be about 100 more. SWL 45, hello, Paul.
Hi again, Dennis. You're sounding fine tonight. 45.
All right, let's see if we can make this bucket of bolts last for another 2 hours here tonight. I got you checked in. Then to SWL 46. SWL 47.
Well, good evening. For one last time, in the year 2020, greetings from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
And we got you checked in. Hello, Mike. Sounding good. I just realized this is our last broadcast of 2020. I may try something. You just reminded me, Mike. I think we started streaming in 2011, so it'll be 10 years on the stream. I may have to go back, and I think I've got archives. Maybe I'll play a best of or an oldies selection, 1 or 2 radios or check-ins from each week starting next week. I'll have to see. That may be a little more ambitious, but it will be that in that new year. And I think I hear SWL 40 checking in on the crossband. Thanks, Mike. SWL 48. SWL 49. SWL 50. SWL 51. I'll check with Dave. He said he was having problems last week with noise, so I'll give Dave a proxy check, and he might be on one of my one of my various screens here. Hello to SWL 34. Batavia, Illinois, checking in. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hello, Mr. Railroader. I hope all is going well out that way. He's a busy guy, but I don't know when he sleeps, with all that he does and the family and everything. But here he is tonight, staying up late to wave a hand out here on the West Coast. Thanks, Jimmy. Let's go over to SWL 52. SWL 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53 checking in.
And 5-3, Mr. Belair. Hello, Bob. Hope all is going well. Thanks for checking in tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Takes us over to page 3. I'll get the check-in for Mr. Board Jammer. 54. Also, let's try SWL 55.
55 checking in, Dennis. And 51 was out there.
Okay, will do. Sounding good. Putting a good signal into Midtown tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and Nat. 56, just for kicks.
And I do have you checked in as well. Thank you. I'm wearing the long sleeve shirt tonight. It's a super long. Either that or I'm shrinking, or the seersucker suit got wet in the rain and is shrinking a little bit here. But I hope the fashion police aren't coming around tonight. This is a radio program anyway, right? It doesn't matter what the video looks like. Let's try SWL 57, Mr. Brown Dog audio. I was watching the video saying, what is he doing? I'm just having a malfunction with the headphones here. All right, that's good. They're getting tangled up in everything. They talk about wardrobe malfunction. Hey, there's Dave, SWL 51, checking in on the video stream out there in Sanger. All right, Dave, we put the X in the square. I hear Larry just sneaking in on the crossband. I called, let's see, did I miss anybody? There's a lot of people. I'll get to everybody. Don't worry. Let's try SWL 58.
Good evening, Dennis, and everyone on the net this evening. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. And if I may, I'm going to throw out a quick PSA here. The Ditch Bank sideband net will resume. We're going to ring in the new year next Friday on the 1st. And if you haven't joined in yet, please do. And again, we'll be starting it back up here again next Friday. And back to you, sir. 73. Thanks, Dennis.
Hey, thanks very much. A good place to be. 27,365, 36 lower, and that's on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific time. You know, the conditions happen. We've definitely been getting some check-ins from afar. So for those of you who are not in the zone of ground wave, try the DX wave there on 36 lower. Might be able to say hello. And before you go, is that the same transmitter we were talking to you on earlier? Over.
Yes, it is, and I'm glad you brought that up. I appreciate you starting to stream early. In case anybody else isn't aware, Dennis put the stream up early, and it's a great time to kind of test and tune. And appreciate the guys out there kind of help me walk this in. Hopefully it's working okay, but again, thanks for putting the stream up there. Over.
Yeah, it's great, and Jeremy does a similar thing, and he's got pictures, but he's got an SDR stream, so it's really helpful on sidebands. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm looking at the S meter, and you actually have a little bit more movement without the distortion that was happening previously. So I think whatever you peaked and tweaked was a good thing.
Well, hopefully we got it working. We'll see what next week brings, though.
Or if it's like me, the next 5 minutes. Keep your fingers crossed. It sounds good. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, sir.
SWL 59. And Tyler stopped by last week. It was been a long time since Tyler has checked in. He's out of Anchorage, or near Anchorage, Alaska. We've actually talked to him live and direct when the band has been opened. SWL 60.
Evening time to you, Dennis. Doggone it, happy holidays to all the fellas out there. And now we're going to check in old Big Jake's base, the DX2527, SWL 60, checking in.
And it's making a good transmission as it has done for a long, long time, and you're sounding good in the microphonium as well. Thanks for stopping by tonight, Joe.
Thank you, Dennis.
Over to SWL 61.
61, checking in, Dennis.
61. Hello, Dean. We've got you checked in the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
SWL 62. SWL 63. I don't see Butterbean. Was he on Old Radio Night tonight? Out there in North Georgia, let me know. We'll get him a check-in. SWL 64. SWL 65. I've got the check-in for Eric. SWL 66. SWL 67. You know, I saw Canby, Oregon in earlier. That's Bill. He may come back in. I think he was just testing out the waters earlier. So let me get him checked in. Also, I want to say who else is out there? Hello to Felix is listening in tonight on the video. Say, hey, there's Mitch 23. 23 skedaddled into my field of vision, checking in from the car wash. Make sure you take your antenna off. Car washes are not friendly to antennas. Hosing down the ETC bus after a drive-by caroling last night. I think that's a good, for those guys, that's probably a good way to explain it. People showed their appreciation by dousing the bus in eggnog. What a sticky mess. All right, well, good luck, and I hope you have a pocket full of quarters. What does it cost now? I haven't gone to one of those car washes, where you do it yourself. It's probably dollars and dollars, or maybe you're going through one of the ones that they hook you up and pull you through. I think you're going to have to go through a couple of times. Thanks for checking in, and the ETC bus will look spiffy for their beginning of the 2021 tour. I haven't seen whatever cocktail napkin they've written where they're touring on it just yet. But that should be interesting. I have a feeling that they may be showing up in Fresno for a couple of those, and we will certainly invite them into the studios when they stop by. All right, let's call SWL 68. SWL 69. And Kenny from Tulsa, Oklahoma, checked in last week on the video and said hello to everybody. So, Kenny, if you're watching, we're saying hello to you now. Thanks for listening. Over to SWL 70. And SWL 71, Stan is out there as always. Dallas, Georgia. I don't know what's happening. The band was so bad. I don't know what's happening in Foreland this evening, but I bet there are some stations on the air somewhere. Let's see, who's next? Eric in Clovis, SWL 72. SWL 73. Got a check-in for SWL 74. And I'm scrolling up on my list. I see 17. Hello, Eric. SWL 17. Carolina Kid is what it says on my sheet here. So he was out and about, but just jumped in. So wait a minute. Let's see. Let me get the 17 up on the official billboard there. All right. Eric has checked in. Hello to lots of people out tonight. Hello, Paul is listening in. Also, the mighty Juliet Whiskey. John is saying hello from Iowa, KJG 4755. Just scrolling up the list. Joseph is checking in from South Jersey, 433 Roadrunner, from Joe Built Amps. Making sure that the ozone layer never gets a rest. Key up one of those amps and tickle the atmosphere a little bit. Who else is out there tonight? Captain Robert, thank you for saying hello. Happy New Year. Hope all is going well over there tonight. And Brian, the mighty KUH, is in the radio room. I don't know what side of the desk he's on, if he's on the vintage side or the transistor, the new side, maybe in between. For old tube radio, I think you have to kind of sit in between the two. Making sure that the Orban is working tonight. Let's see if we can get the lights to flash up here. Yeah, all right, a little high frequency there. GWD Labs, always make sure that I've got the controls where they should be. Jim is also listening in from, is it Prospect, Connecticut? Did I get that right? If I didn't mention Felix, he is also jumping in and waving a hand to everybody. And there is, okay, there's way at the top. No wonder I missed Ray. He is there, so I'll make sure you get checked in, Ray. The Old Tube Radio Network. Going to SWL 75. SWL 77.
Well, 77 on the old tower, power out of the Tower District, waving a hand to all the listeners and wishing everybody a Happy New Year, and we appreciate everything you do, Dennis.
All right, I guess I should say it's good to be appreciated, but I couldn't do any of this if people weren't taking time out of their evening activities to jump into the radio room and to share their radio collections with us and all of us across the Universal Media Netweb. That's been going on. I can't believe it. That has been going on for 35 years, coming up 36 years, I guess. Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you.
SWL 78. I'll keep an eye out on my refresh list here. I think he's going to be in from Wildemar tonight. I'm just guessing. I don't know. SWL 79.
79, checking in.
Hey, right there. Thanks for being patient, Philip. We've got you checked in. Over.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's see. We're going to go to SWL 80. Also, hello to Lavon, who is listening in. Okay, this is usually the time. And let me find the page here. Yeah, where I go to page 4. But before I want to do that, I want to see what's happening over in the green room tonight, which takes me up to the Bob and Steve show, of course. Our favorite dynamic duo out of Ohio. Hope everyone had a great Christmas, they says. The Jingle Singers are busy preparing the green room for the best New Year's Eve promo ever, OTR 2021. And I would like to think that that's true. We'll try to make that true. They are having the private jet flying from Cincinnati. There's a private jet. I know about the limo. They're doing limo rides, right? Montgomery Inn ribs and fixings for NYE New Year's Eve. So be around for that. Open the bar for Bob and Steve and the OTR card. It looks like it's hosted. And you've heard of a no-host bar. I have a feeling this is not the no-host bar. Limos are ready for the rides. Oh, I've got a shot. Where's the big cam here? There it is. Look at that. Bob has an in on the limos. He has like the inside scoop. That is what's in store. It looks like the Taj Mahal in leather there. That's in store tonight. For those of you who are in the green room before you step up into the air chair, sign up for that. I think they're just driving around. I don't know what. Oh, okay. They said you're going to where? In-N-Out. They're driving between Sonic and In-N-Out Burger. So bring your cash for the drive-up window. And the OTR limousine tonight. Thank you, Bob and Steve. Next, we are heading over to, we're going to page 4, SWL 81. And Steve probably has a message for me somewhere that I can't find it just right at the moment. But Steve Areno, if you're listening, I'll see if I can find the message before we sign out tonight. Mr. Unicorn, SWL 81, thanks for checking in. Over to SWL 82.
82 checking in from the Beach Coast Road.
All right. On the mystery radio tonight from the ditch banks of Biola, where we did have some rain today and early this morning, so hopefully they have not eroded too much. We've got you checked in.
Thank you, Dennis.
And then from the digital side, SWL 83, Epimetheus 83. Appropriately named for that particular SWL, I think, and I do think I did see 83. Yeah, he is stepping into the radio room, in and out. He's got some other things going on. It's always tough on a Saturday evening to kind of jump in and out of the radio room and catch all the goings on. But 83 is in. Let's try, I hope he is still there. I heard him earlier and he was sounding great. SWL 84, Jerry.
84, good evening, Dennis. I hope all's well there in your camp there. We're doing pretty doggone good here. And as a matter of fact, we were able to watch the crew out there harvesting the orchard. So I didn't dare get in their hair, but it's always nice to watch them do it. So a couple of 2 or 3 days, and they'll probably all be done there. So, and if you could check in my girls at the appropriate time, I'd really, really appreciate it. Roger.
I will do that. I got some static right when you said, what are they harvesting out there over?
They're right in the middle of the pecan harvest or pecan growers out here.
Oh, I used to have a pecan tree, but they need a lot of water, and I don't think it got a lot of water, and it blooms. It's a really nice blooming tree, but it doesn't produce that much. So they're out there. I think Bozo Control says he's a pecan picker, so he must go out there and shake the tree.
Oh, yeah, you got to shake them. But, they take water, but the pecan tree is there. The taproot is extremely, extremely low. So if you get any measurable water, they'll pick it up. But anyway, Dennis, thanks for doing what you're doing. That allows us to do what we like to do here. So we'll be listening. Maybe we can warm up something. We're feeling pretty good tonight.
Great. And you're sounding good, too, here for the last episode of 2020. That is a good omen. So I think 2021 is going to be good. We will look for you in a short time here.
Check.
And I'm just looking through. There is a line up for the limo. There is a line for that limo. I shouldn't have showed the picture. I knew if I spilled the beans that everybody would want to line up. X4000 is in and said, is that the Bozo Mobile for 2020? No, the Buick has seats like that, but there's only one of them. So this is much better. So if you've had it right in the Riviera, I think you will enjoy the limousine as well. Who wants to ride shotgun? Somebody said they're Gary says he's gonna ride shotgun. So yeah, get your reservations in now for the limo. Let's try SWL 85. We will be checking in the Mountain Maid 86 and Tandy Girl SWL 87, and also Sean, a Snowy Owl, who is probably up there, maybe living up to the name with a little bit of snow. Let's try SWL 89. All right, and I will be listening in, Ray says he might try it live at the end of the roll call when we listen in for those kind of stations. SWL 90. We've got 90 checked in.
And I'm right.
I think I hear Chris 37, which I catch, and I might have heard Ray in there as well. Hello 37, we've got you in over.
Thank you.
And was that 44 over? Hey, sounding loud and clear on the Old Tube Radio Network. Some people just have the right type of radios to get through my In the Mud RX receiver here. Page 4 is where we're at. A reminder that we will have the glow-in-the-dark radios coming up shortly, so stay tuned. Maybe your favorite will stop by. SWL 92. SWL 93. And I've got 95. Warthog 95. Is Warthog out there? Also, I got a note to proxy in Louis, which I will do. So I want to say hello to Keith, the mighty Sierra Romeo Sugar Radio. I think that's, if you were contesting, that's how I would do it. If Keith was contesting for Foreland, he would be out there saying, Sugar Radio, right? Everybody's saying, what is Dennis talking about? What are those phonetics? 93 got in. Oh, I know who's next is Dave, SWL 98.
98, checking in, Dennis, and I hope you had a great Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year. And appreciate all the work you put in to make this network. Thank you, 73.
Thank you. Yeah, it was different. It was actually very different for me. That's not to say it was bad. That's not to say it was good, but it was good. It was good. And then here we are, the day after, the Old Tube Radio Network, checking in the tubes. 2021 is looking great. The limo is out. There it goes. I'm looking through the window. All right. It's on its way to Sonic or In and Out. I hope they don't put your greasy fingers on the on the leather seats. Maybe that's okay. I'm not sure. Thanks, Dave. SWL 103. And I agree, Dwayne. It's got to be a tube radio when he's like around the backside of a mountain to me. And of course, my antenna's less than stellar. Let's try SWL 109. SWL 110. And 111, I should have recorded the audio. He was coming through pretty good tonight. Pretty good over the noise level. I just can't make it into Reedley. Robert, if you're listening, you are checked in once again. Hey, I see the Google Bots Mountain View is on there. Let's say hello. Everybody say hello to the Google Bots tuning in at oldtuberadio.net.
Hello, Google Bots.
I think we're going to get a few of them to convert over to the tube radio. We're gonna have them go from that digital world where you got to pay money to the tube radio world where you just get on the radio and relax and have fun. And there's no cookies. The kind of cookies we have in old tube radio are the good kind. They're like chocolate chip. They're not the kind that track you. But I know we're gonna win over those Mountain View, those Google bots here. They're gonna find out that all that stuff isn't cracked up to what it's supposed to be. Let's try SWL 113. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
SWL 114. Hello, Rick Shaw. Wayne, you are sounding good as always here in Midtown Fresno. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you for the check-in.
Let's see. Radios are coming up. Don't go away. We skip all the way over to SWL 128. Those who are playing the home game know that John was one of our first digital SWLs checking in. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and have a Happy New Year. I second that, John. He's also in Foreland. There in Fairfax, Virginia. Thanks for checking in. Where are we going? Let's go to SWL 131. SWL 133. Shortwave listener 135. And he checked in earlier on the crossband. I'll turn the crossband back up. I turned it down. I should probably see if Larry is out there. Did you make it, Larry? KB6GFD. KB6GFD. He probably did. They'll be on. Let's see. We've got to check in for SWL 137. AJ, and let's go up to a guy who was sounding really good earlier. I wonder if he's still out there. SWL 145, Tony.
Yeah, we're still here, Dennis, and thank you. I just want to say thank you for running the net, and I'd like to thank all the SOWLs for showing up every week. This is pretty much the only adult interaction and only adult socializing I get in my life anymore, and I really appreciate everyone being there every week. Really enjoy the show. Back to you, Dennis. Happy New Year, everybody.
All right, Tony, thanks for the good words, and we enjoy you being part of it. Just like you were now. Watch your replay at oldtuberadio.net, and yes, you are a star. Thanks, Tony, for checking in. Next, we are going way up to, what does Dwayne say? Oh, yeah, tube radios do cost money. Yeah, they do. They got that one-time charge, and then they're like a car, right? Like an old car. There's always something that's broken. There's always something broken you can live with, and then there's something broken that you cannot live with, so you fix appropriately. 195. We're heading over to Course Gold. Hello, Mr. Starliner.
195 checking in, Dennis, and I hope 2021 treats us better than 2020 did.
Well, I'm expecting it to get off to a slow start, but I think it will take off like a house on fire after that. So like I said, we're keeping our fingers crossed for sure. Thanks for checking in. You're sounding great.
Thank you, Dennis. Have a good New Year's.
And Chrissy says her cookies are top-notch. I believe it. I should make a plate. I've got some chocolate chip cookies. Sometimes I'll bring them down to the green room. But that's like the one thing I can do that people like. It's like, Dennis is cooking? Wait a minute. Dennis is baking, but the chocolate chip cookies are good. Let's see, 220, SWL 226. I'll get Jeffrey checked in, and then we'll go to, let me just stop talking so anybody that needs to check in or wants to check in can do that now, OTR listening. And with that said, give me a minute. I got to set up for the tube radios. I will be back in a moment. There is plenty going on in the green room. And I'm sure there are a lot of people warming up the tube radios, which is the reason why we are here, right? The old Tube Radio Network. With a name like that, you got to check in a few tube radios, which we will do shortly. Back in a moment on your old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, old Tube Radio, I'll check in. I'm out here in Clovis. I don't even have a number. I'm just sitting in the garage here listening to everybody.
Hey, as I jump back to the table, you don't need a number. That's the way to do it. Say hello to all the stations out there. You're sounding great from Clovis. We're here in Midtown Fresno. As you know, we do this every week. Also streaming live at oldtuberadio.net and a YouTube thing with video as well. And the radios are coming up shortly. I'll be back.
10-4, okay, man. I go by Easy Rider. I'm into the radios. Yeah, I got you playing in the house on YouTube. I'll go on there and play it back and listen to my station. All right, I'll be standing by listening, everybody. Everybody tonight sounding good. I heard one station out here around my neck of the woods about pecan trees. That was the strongest station in here tonight. I had to turn my volume down just to hear him.
And there you go. Me.
Ooh, test radio.
And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
That would be us, the Old Tube, or as SWL number 1 used to say, the Old Tired Tube Radio Network. We'll see how many tired tubes we have checking in tonight on OTR. Let me check out. I readjusted. It's still not right. I readjusted the S meter from last week. It was looking a little off kilter. So if anybody, I don't think I have any stations, but anybody checks in with about a 60 dB over, they're going to rail out the meter as we have it tonight. But we will see. The main thing is that you are able to take a transmission and that we hear you. And that would be a good thing. I found the pen. And that's not it here. For our sponsor tonight, compliments of D&J radio sales at 228 North Merriam, Three River Falls, Minnesota. D&J radio sales. This goes into the, there you go. Oh, it's upside down. You'd think a TV guy would know how to do this, right? D&J radio sale. That shows it pretty good. And that'll go in the official pocket protector tonight. I'm standing by. We are looking for radio number 1 on the Old Tube Radio Network.
45.
45.
77.
All right, a veritable crash. I've got 3. We'll start with Jerry, that's 25, and then we'll go up to Paul in North Fork, and then Mr. Ed, 1, 2, 3. There was also some other breaking stations. Who else is out there? Over.
77.
24.
All right, 77 Tower Power will be Radio 4, and 24. Great audio. Whatever. I think last week there was a microphonium issue, but you are sounding perfect right now, and we will get you checked in on the SWL list there, Joe.
That's because I'm on the mobile.
Oh, all right. Yeah, the audio is 100% great. Sounds good. So 24 is checked in. So we've got in reverse order 77, 745, and stepping up into the air chair from beautiful Madera Heights, where everyone has a good time at some point in their journey. Hello, Jerry. Over.
And hello, Dennis. I hope everybody enjoyed their fruitcake. Anyway, 25 checking in on the Bounty Golden Eagle Mark III SSB 2-piece radio on the non-powered banana mic made by Electro Voice, I believe. And I just want to say hello to everyone else, Paul and Kelly up there in the hill, and anybody else listening, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I don't want to take up much time, so I know there's people waiting in the green room, and make sure that you have some of that fruitcake. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
Yeah, people are enjoying fruitcake as much as one can enjoy fruitcake. I'm sure if Chrissy makes fruitcake, and she might, that it would probably be, what do they say, doggone good or something like that. Anyway, there's the, that's a different picture. I like that. That's the, if I can get the right shot of it here. Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB even has the attachment for the VFO. I don't think you have that on yours, if I remember correctly, but you do have the nice two-piece radio. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is the red on there, lights on, and by golly, the meters are working, and hopefully you can hear me. So that's all that counts, Dennis. Thanks for checking it in.
I can hear you fine. A good way to get us started off here at just past the 9 o'clock hour on the old Tube Radio Network. I've got you checked in, and thanks for starting us off with radio number 1.
All right, Dennis, thanks. And there was something about brandy. I don't know what it was, brandy or some bourbon or rum or something. My mom used to ferment fruitcake in a room somewhere, but anyway, it definitely had a punch to it. Anyway, maybe that was just my mom's recipe. Anyway, back to you, Dennis. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Sounding good, and I think part of that is they've opened the bar up in the limo too, so things are working. Got you checked in. Good night to 57 Brown Dog Audio. Mr. BDA, we will be dedicating our radios tonight in memory of Bailey. There have been a lot of our friends that have graced the old Tube Radio Network and been faithful SWLs. If you go back on some of the videos from a couple years ago, you'll see a cat in the back, and that was Scooter, who was SWL number 1's Jim's cat. And so Scooter was always sort of a natural to be around radios, and I never had to worry about her coming in and pulling on wires or doing anything like that. So I'm sure Bailey was probably a very good radio dog as well, and knew how to behave in the radio room, and like you said, enjoyed listening in. So we will be dedicating radios in the memory of Bailey tonight. Have a great evening, and we will catch you next week. Coming up to Radio 2, going up to North Fork, SWL 45, and I hope you are hearing me, Paul.
Very nice, Jim. Yes. Anyway, I want to stick in my Pierce Companion.
The Pierce Simpson Companion, I think I know of that radio. It is not the one that I have. It's actually the one probably I wish I had, because it looks, I think it actually looks cooler than that. I'll find a shot of it here in the Rolodex, and we'll go back to you for another transmission. Over.
Yeah, you got it in there. I know for sure, but just looking at it. Anyway, it's a 1962-63 model, and there you got it. Yeah, that's mine, even. Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. There's no outside lights on it to turn on the power or anything. You plug it in, that's it. You got to look through the hole, the vent hole, to see the flow of the tube. It does have a modulation light right on the right-hand corner up there. It's all in shot with the modulation light. Right now it's glowing bright, white color. That's it. It's very plain, very interesting radio. Thank you.
You know, I still think it looks like a 60s sort of like tabletop AM broadcast style on the radio, and I would suspect they might have fashioned it that way on purpose, so that it would make its way out of the workshop and out of the garage and into the house. And I bet it did for many places. I like the coloring on it. The audio is not too bad tonight. There's a little bit of an AC hum in the audio, but you're coming through pretty good. I like the PS. I was thinking, what is the PS? But that, of course, is the Pierce Simpson. There's a little bars. I guess if you wanted to add some more letters, you could spell out something like Wheel of Fortune. Early radio, it shows up in Sam's CB4, but more importantly, it's showing up here tonight on the old Tube Radio Network. Back to you. Over.
Okay, well, I think it's purple, but Kelly, she says it's maroon, so we'll go by maroon. That's the color of the plastic the way you got to paint it. It's very unusual radio. I say that's usually, there's nothing on it. Like there's no meters or anything on the thing. It's very plain, but everything's there. That's all we got to say about it. Oh, the microphone is electronic, ceramic stock microphone. Back to you.
Yeah, I've got a close-up. It's actually a good resolution. There's a Pierce Simpson companion citizen band, and I saw the little square between all the knobs, and I thought maybe it was a missing piece, but it's actually the external crystal socket. And for those who can't see the video, there's a knob, the channel selector, and it's pretty neat. It looks like you insert, I bet they had that with the radio, you insert little numbers for the channels, 11, 17, and 21. They fit right in the little square. It looks like they were probably decals that came with the radio and fit in, and there's an EXT. So when you rotate that to the EXT, you would plug in the very large crystal on your transmitter and be able to pop it in from the front panel. Radio number 2, Pierce Simpson, the companion. It's always sounding good. Thanks for bringing it by tonight, Paul. Over.
Yeah, thanks for checking in. It only has 5 pushes, but it has that message in front for another one. Kind of nice. I don't know what the message it probably was. Anyway, yeah, I like the old radio. Thanks for checking it in, Dan.
Thanks for bringing it by. There is a Pierce Simpson Facebook group, and I hope a few people out there watching, whether you're watching the replay or listening live, are enjoying that radio for sure. Maybe some of you actually have that and put one on the air. There's what it sounds like about 35 or 40 miles away from my location. Doing a good job tonight, the Old Tube Radio Network. Radio number 3 is coming up next, and that would be from Mr. Ed. Over.
I'll see you get this thing stop crunching a little bit. Yes, the Robin T123 Nobi with the winking and blinking eye.
The winking and blinking eye. It seems like it's staring at you now. The audio coming out, that, you know what it sort of sounds like, has that crackly, crunchy. It's like there should be sparks. You keep in there are sparks flying out of the radio is what it sounds like. But I don't see that you are too concerned. So I think if it's sparking, it's doing it in a good way.
Well, hopefully not too much of the sparking. I definitely don't want to see smoke and fire going. But yeah, there we go. And this is one of 29's old radios, so that's the reason why it's probably loud with the D104.
It is very loud. Very loud with the D104 tonight. Good audio as always. And I'm looking for, as usual, I can never find what it is that I am what I'm looking for when I'm looking for it. Go ahead and take a transmission. Oh, can you see when it makes the noise? Does it show up on the Magic Eye tube? Does it? You're not talking, but you see movement.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. In fact, maybe. Oh well. There we are. I'm going to have to clean the contacts and do a little work to this, but yes, I can see the winking, blinking eye shut when it's making that noise, so I know it's not good.
It sounds interesting. Good or bad, I'm not sure, but it does sound interesting, and it's got great audio. It's very loud. Not a problem. Of course, the thing I'm looking for just doesn't want to come up, but it has something to do perhaps with the radio checking. Well, we'll get back to that. Radio number 3, the Robin T123, sort of the first in the line of the Robins, the T123B, the 240D, but this radio itself is this a pun intended? It's a different bird than the other two. Different schematics. Goes 12-volt DC, 115-volt AC, and it's in Sam's Photo Fax 35. You can find it around page 95 with its 11 tubes. Thanks for bringing it by.
And thank you.
Then we will head over to radio number 4, and that looks like 1017 at the microphonium at 917. Old Tube radio time.
Well, Dennis, we got the old school bus out here, the old Cam 88, and having some fun with the audio gear again. And thanks to your help, the darn thing is, well, it's doing what it's supposed to.
I'll say, boy, it's nice and loud. It is nice and loud tonight, and I don't have the SDR like Jeremy does, because we would be able to see that radio has some wideband, but in a good way. AM audio, sort of the old school AM filling up. Anybody's got a super gen receiver, that's not crystal filtered at 5 kc or 4.5 kc. If you've got a super generated receiver and you're listening in, this radio is going to sound even more excellent than it does on my radio. Over.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Jeremy came back and Ed also said the radio was easily 8 wide, so that brought a smile to my face. But yeah, she's a good old girl, and the more I experiment, the more fun it becomes.
That's part of the fun. Definitely like the AM audio. Like I said, always sideband is great, but something about AM, the personality of the operator with that extra, 3 or 4 kc of bandwidth, of fidelity, really brings out the personality of the person behind the microphone. Showing two, those who are seeing the video and those who are not, showing 2 radios. One of them has they all have the nice school bus wheels on the bottom. It's like one of the mobile brownies. It has the most tiniest, I hope you know what channel you're on. Is that illuminated? It's got the tiniest little VU or window for the channel selector. Got a great speaker, good S meter, and the modulation light, showing 2 of them. One of them has a switch under the mod light, and the other one does not. So I don't know which version you have over there. Over.
Yeah, the early version did not have the switch. That is a range boost, and okay, we turn the range boost off there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we turn the range boost back on. And the speaker, the audio quality and fidelity just out of the speaker alone is just amazing.
Yeah, big difference in the audio gain. Quality was still good with the switch off, but I was looking at the Orban loudness meter, and you definitely dropped a few notches. Still sounding good, but you're definitely at the 100% plus modulation right now. Radio number 4, Cobra Cam 88. And for those who might be interested, you can take some time or a moment or two, what do we call it, the elevator pitch, in 25 words or more, the microphonium and whatever else you might be doing from the microphonium to the radio, in case our listeners are interested in doing something similar.
Yeah, well, it's a little mad scientist action over here. It is an RE320 electro voice on the boom, going through a Yamaha mixer. Into a W2IHY EQ Plus, back into a 2 Behringer preamp, and then back into the radio.
And that helps. When you have a radio that has the possibility of being broadbanded, it's not a bad thing, then it becomes more imperative for the operator to figure out how to keep the audio safe and sane within what the radio will do. And one, it's just good practice to keep from having adjacent channel interference. And 2, when you've got a radio that will perform for you, if you give it some good audio going in, it will sound very good. And that's what Dennis is proving with that. It can be done probably with just maybe not such an illustrious microphone as the RE320, but that and an audio board with a little bit of EQ. But the more the merrier, especially if you've got a radio that will pass it. Radio number 4, the Cobra Cam 88 It is sounding good, and thanks for bringing it by tonight. Over.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I just love this. I wish we could do it every day.
87.
Well, that certainly sounds like a daily driver. A lot of these tube radios could certainly perform more than once a week or once a month, because they all sound good and hold up quite well. Thanks for bringing it by. I've got 37 at the microphonium. Chris, I bet we're going to log you in as Radio 5 tonight.
That would be a good guess. And I'd have to say you won.
All right, I'm not sure what I won, but I'm thinking you won, because you have a radio that a lot of people would like to have on their radio shelf from no other. I already know. I already know that is the General Radio Telephone. Back to you.
That's right. The General Radio Telephone, the Super MC 11A, 24-channel version is here with the original handheld stock microphone. No amplifications whatsoever. What you hear is what's coming right out the back of it. Over.
Sometimes, if the radio is good, they're all good, you get the right microphone, or just the microphone that was supplied, audio is going to sound good. So that's what I like about this. We'll call it a hobby. The FCC doesn't like us to use that word, but it allows you to run the radio as is. Or if you ever got the inkling, I'm sure you could run some audio processing into that, limiting, and I don't even know what would happen. I'm not even sure what would happen, but it would sound as good or even better, if that's even possible. But it's nice to know you can take it out of the box and fire it up, and it does what it does. Over.
And, it does that just virtually every week since I cleaned it. And it needed the cleaning bad.
Was it radio bath night over there?
Well, a bath week. I did a couple of them that week.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. It's amazing what, it's just things sitting around. You wouldn't think. It's all covered up and in a box and in a case, but oxidation and properties of metals and moisture and heat and dust. And just like, if I was just sitting around, I would probably have to be cleaned off a few times. It is sounding good. Give us another transmission.
No problem. It likes to key up. Well, let's see what this thing's doing. I'm doing it. Oh, let me get my glasses on. I might be able to tell you better here. Just a second here. All right, there's the spectacles. Get them on. All right, we're dead keying at 5. And up to about 19.
And I can believe it. The audio just sounds great with minimal effort and no distortion.
I'd say that's good.
I would say that is definitely good for radio number 5.
I thank you, Dennis. Well, I'm going to get out of here in case somebody else wants to get one. I'm going to reach over here and flip the switch and grab another microphone.
All right, sounds good. I'm looking at Mitch's post here at Old Tube CB Radio Network about General Radio Telephone. Van Nuys News. Fictitious business statement. The following person is doing business at General Radio Telephone Company at 14761 Van Nuys, California. General CB Radio Incorporated California Corporation. This business is conducted by a corporation. So that was in 1973. And if it's the same General Radio Telephone Company, which I think it is, what is it, Skyhawk? Although it doesn't say that. I think in 72 or 73, General Radio Telephone went over to Skyhawk. Or they might have sold their stuff to Skyhawk, and maybe someone else took over the General Radio Telephone name. But these radios here, 71 or 72, so this is still in the General Radio Telephone category.
84.
And hello, Jerry. Beaconing in from the cornfields into Midtown Fresno, where I don't know what we have. I've got some grapefruit trees here. You don't have to shake the tree. You just go in there and pull off the grapefruit. And they are ready as well. Like, give us a transmission. You will be radio number 6 at 9:28.
Roger. Yeah, they're out there harvesting. I don't get out there anymore, do all that there. This is 84, and checking in over here at what we'd like to call Boat Anchor Corner. That's pretty much all we have here. But, yeah, we're talking on the executive version of the Robin class there, the Robin T240 Delta. And, yeah, it's been quite a while since I've turned this guy on, so it'll be interesting to hear playback here in the archives. And I looked over my shoulder a while ago, and it was, see, the output is just between 2 and 2.25 watts, and it's module putting at about 4, so definitely not doing a whole bunch, but, you know, we still like it. Now, I guess in the near future, if I don't have any more upcoming procedures there, which I probably will mid-January, but I'm going to have to go with, you know, each one of these and go through it and give it the deoxit treatment and blow things out and retube everything that needs to be retubed, or it'll just go by the wayside. But anyway, and we're on a D104 microphonium there, and it is an amplified version there. Roger.
Sounds good. Got plenty of audio. Yeah, and with this new update of the web page, it really is not easy to put pictures up anymore for some reason. I have a good shot of the yellowbird, but I think your audio is probably doing what it should. Here we go. We'll use this one here. Somebody can see what's going on the 240D with the very pretty radio, if you like. What is this one? The other radio is green. This is the yellow. And I don't think you have to touch a thing. It seems like it has weathered the hiatus well. Everything is good and it hasn't missed a beat yet.
Roger. Yeah, there's, you know, these things haven't been out in the garage or storage or anything as long as I've had these things, and, you know, pretty much keep them blown out. I run a couple of oscillating fans here pretty much 24/7 there. It actually runs across the back of the radios, you know, right on across you're pulling the radio, pulling the heat out of the back of the units there, and even in the HF stuff there. So we keep things moving, and it definitely stays warm in here for sure. So anyway, Dennis, we'll take it back out, and I know there's going to be quite a few to get in there, so we'll kind of enjoy the ride for the duration, and sure feels good to be back there. Roger.
37.
Good to have you back. I just switched over to the loudness meter, and you were pushing things up well into the minus 14. I set the levels to about, you know, the average audio would come in at like minus 16 or so, and you're well above that. So it's definitely loud on Radio 6 from Robin, the T240D. And rumor has it, I was looking for the official rumor mill here. The question, and this is from SWL23 for trivia, which successful tube CB radio manufacturer was named for the daughter of its founder? Now, the question should be easy. We've had the answer a couple times tonight. But it's which successful tube CB radio manufacturer was named for the daughter of its founder? Do you have an idea, perhaps?
Well, no, not really, unless it's the Triumph's version, the Swans.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is Robin, believe it or not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I know the Swan radios were named after the, you know, Swan guy, whatever his name was. But yeah, I didn't know that. Well, that explains why it's spelled R-O-B-Y-N.
Yeah, we'll have to find out more about that. But named for the daughter of its founder and the Robin radios. Maybe that's why the colors are like they are, with the green and the yellow and all the items of interest. It's sounding good on the T240D. Thanks for bringing it by the old tube radio tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. That's what I get for having to think. That didn't work out very good, but a lot of the Robins, or I should say a lot of people, or a lot of women are named Robin. Actually, there's a couple of baseball players that went by the name of Robin. One of them was Robin Yount, and I think, I can't remember how he spells his name, but most of the girls are R-O-B-I-N, and like my daughter is R-O-B-I-N, one of them anyway. But anyway, okay. Well, I'll be driving for the duration there, Dennis. Thanks for a little trivia there. I'll have to remember that. 37.
And thanks to Mitch for putting that one up on the old Tube Radio CB Network Facebook page. Thanks, Jerry. We'll get you checked in. 37 coming up. Let me. You'll be Radio 7. Wanted to say hello to Charlie, who just checked in, or is checking in, or has checked in from Anoka, Minnesota. Yeah, okay, out there in Zero Land. Charlie, I've got you on the list, and we will get you checked in as well as Radio 7 from Christopher. Hello, Radio.
Hello, Dennis. Well, I'm going to check in my Chris 23 Plus CB transceiver, 23 channel tuber. It glows in the dark. It's been sitting here getting warm. Not as quite as much as the other one does, but it does work. And we're running this here with the original handheld stock microphone on this one. Over.
Nothing wrong with stock audio. Sounds good. Doesn't sound over amplified, because it isn't. And speaking of the Robins, this Panasonic chassis was the same or similar to, at least the inside. The outsides were a little bit different, but similar to the Robin T123 Bravo. I'm not sure where this fell into the line. This is probably like the middle of the fanciness, the middle or the lower end of the fanciness factor on the front panel. But the inside's exactly the same. Back to you.
Oh, thank you. Well, no, I'm not sure about the difference between them all, but I know this one does work. And, the needle swings that way to the right, and it's showing to the right on that, and it's not going to the left, so it's all forward, going to you right away.
Exactly. And this could have been the answer to the question about, what radio manufacturer named the radio after his daughter. Could have been Chris. Maybe this is also another answer. Maybe this was one too, but the Robin is more famous, or is that infamous? But at least this one is named after somebody. The spelling is different, but it's actually named after you.
Yeah, different. Now, you look over to General. Maybe the daughter made this radio and called it General after her father.
This is getting too deep. But we could probably find out a lot of things about who was named after what radio and start some rumors. But I think the Robin thing, I'm pretty sure that is true. I don't know about anything else. We'll not go that far. Radio number 7, the Chris 23 Plus. Always good to hear it here on the old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. Now I'll get out and let somebody else get in there. This is all I got for tonight now, so you have a good evening, and I will be listening. 37, we're clear.
All right. Well, Mitch says maybe this radio was named after that guy that showed up last night from the South Pole. Or from the North Pole. I don't know who the guy from the South Pole was. He's still back here.
Number 7.
And number 7, hey, let's put you into the ever-popular radio number 8. Over.
Okay, this time the large Tram TR27E
Much more green on this radio than the last one, but still green.
Now this is green all over. I will put in the, I'll refrain from the monochrome ad here, but I will put in the photo that we have that indeed appears to be from your collection, even though it doesn't say that it is. But I'll go ahead and spill the beans on that one. And then as I write in the info, we'll get some audio from you on the green radio. You know, it even sounds a little green.
You know, it just might. Well, the needle on the S meter is going over into the green, so I guess that works. Yes, non-amplified Electro-Voice 638 microphone attached, nice 5x7 speaker, and the S meter's 3.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. So yeah, everything on the radio is big.
Including the S meter reading here at the Old Tube Radio Net Control. Tram sounding good, looking good on the picture here tonight. This was their top of the line, end of the top of the line for the 27 series, I think just before the Tram Titans came out. So there may have been some sharing of innards between the two. I know the first Titan shares that S meter as well. And Ed is proving again, especially in AM mode, especially in the nice high fidelity AM mode, that selecting your microphonium, whether it's just the stock mic or a different element, or you're going to put a high professional quality broadcast mic with some audio gear, you really have a great chance and a good opportunity to tailor the sound in the way you might want it, or to give your radio a distinctive sound. And that's certainly what he's doing with his setup there. Back to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yep, this one's just the microphone plugged into the radio. No audio gear. Do that on the other radio for other bands, but with these, just the radio.
And it sounds good, and they were built that way. Manufactured to sound good out of the box. On purpose. And I laugh. Chrissy says, Ed saves the day with the green radio. So if the day has been saved, we're all the better for that. Back to you for transmission, and thanks for bringing by Radio 8, the Tram TR27E.
Well, I'm glad to have saved the day. That's a new one. I'll try to do that more often. I like that. Okay, with that, I'll let you get back to checking in a few more radios, because I've got a couple more to bring in anyway.
Good deal. And Mitch is, he's not correcting me, he's actually saving me. He said the bird watt meter is named for that guy from the South Pole. Although I think, wasn't Admiral Byrd spelled with a Y and the bird is spelled with an I? So that IOI thing is sort of selective, I guess. The Old Tube Radio Network, looking for Radio 9, but before that, it's been so busy. Everybody's riding in the limousine. That's why it's been quiet over at the from the green room tonight. Are there enough? I'm just trying to see. Is there enough jingle singers to actually do something? Yeah, it looks like there is. All right. You are listening to, we'll go over to the green room, and at least, I think they need 3 or 4. They got to have, well, first we got to have the orchestra, too. All right, we do. We've got enough. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
Listening for any and all check-ins and Radio 9.
60.
That fits perfectly in my Radio 9 cubicle here at 9:42 Pacific Standard Time in Central California on the Old Tube Radio Network on the evening of 12/26/20, our final episode, if you will, for the year 2021. The Old Tube Radio Network, what do I call it? a gathering. That's what I call it. A gathering that has been meeting on this frequency since 1985, when it started out much less formally with a lot of us, or maybe just a few of us, who came down to Channel 11 because a lot of our tube radios had that channel, if indeed it only had one channel, to get away from sort of the noise back when there might have been 200 people on between all the channels here in the Central Valley. Stop by Channel 11 and chat. And anyone could join in, chat on our tube radios, give them a chance to fire up and talk about things. And radio number 9, Joe doing the same thing with his 35 years later. Hello, Joe.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for letting me check this one in. This is my Johnson Messenger, the 223. About as simple as a radio can get. I like everything about it, especially the well-lit single strength meter, and the dial there with the full 23 channels on it, and 9, of course, your emergency channel, and a very simple radio. Only thing that has off on it is the squelch. The volume stays where it's at, 24/7. Only if you have to raise it or lower it. But otherwise, to turn it off, you go directly to the squelch. This is my 10-tube Johnson Messenger 223.
10 tubes, no waiting. I think that was what we used to say. Something, no waiting. Got the picture up for those at oldtuberadio.net showing the Johnson Messenger 223. The version, probably later version that has the modulation lights, got the official Johnson desk microphonium. Out of all the E.F. Johnsons that have checked in over the 35 years, strangely enough, I think this one probably was the least heard. The Viking one, the Messenger Whiteface, and the Blackface. You have to get quite a few of those. And I think Les and Fred, two of the net controllers, had the Messenger 223s. So it's been kind of a while, kind of a long time since we had a station that regularly checks in on a 223, and I'm glad that Joe takes the time to do that, because we like to show this radio. And as he said, it's a basic radio, but it's got everything you need. And if you were looking wherever you would look, perhaps eBay, to find a radio to start a collection, or maybe just like, I just want one. And I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I want it to be good. This would be the pick. This would be like the top 3 choices. And it is doing a good job. Back to you.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. Yeah, I like it myself. It's a well-lit radio. Very, like I say, very simple to operate. A nice big speaker. No fancy attachments in the back. Just plug it in, and it's like I guess you just pull the trigger. It would be like a single trigger, not a double. All you do is turn it on and start talking.
Good enough. 2 or 3 minutes to warm up. You'll hear the audio come in through the speaker. Oh, that is. You will hear the audio come through the speaker, assuming you have the microphone plugged in. I think for some reason, and that this is an electronic switching style radio, but I think that's just a carryover from the Messenger series. But you do have to have, and you may have noticed that, you have to have the microphone plugged in to get audio coming out of the speaker. These sold in 1969 to 1972. At that time, Johnson was also coming out with a lot of solid-state mobile radios. They actually had quite a few radios offered at that time. But this was this was certainly the flagship for them. And I'm looking at it. Sam's CB23, page 53. And the catalog number is 242222E. Oh, also, if you Sears, they made one for Sears. So if you find a Sears radio, and I can't remember what theirs was called, but it's going to look just like this. It's going to have a little different markings on the front, but it'll have the Sears Roebuck sort of atomic radio logo on it. And maybe if you find a Sears catalog from 1969 or 70, you will actually see the Sears Roebuck version of the Messenger 223. So that's another one to pick up. Don't be fooled by the Sears. It is actually an EF Messenger in disguise. Radio number 9. Just super smooth audio on this. Hopefully you'll be able to listen to a playback or watch the video, because you will be pleased. So give us another transmission, Joe, and as always, thanks for bringing it by. You do the radio justice.
Well, thank you much, Dennis. Doggone it. I was concerned a little bit. I thought maybe the mic might have been breaking up. But so far, I got nothing. No one said anything, so I'm good here. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
It's not breaking up. The song applies to that radio when it comes to the microphone. Breaking up is hard to do. The Old Tube Radio Network, we are looking for Radio 10.
Number 7.
And number 7 for 10, log you in at 9. That's right. I'm getting my times mixed up here. It's 5:49 UTC, right? But it's actually 9:49 in the Old Tube Radio world. Go ahead with your transmission. Over.
Well, this time a radio brought to you by Browning Laboratories, the R68, T68, and with the also a stock banana type microphone.
Microphoniums are important. Boy, the Rolodex just does not like the Browning series radios to come up. You fooled me. I heard that ping and I was thinking it was the other, but then I tuned my ear, and that has a distinctive ping. It is similar to Harvey's. I was thinking his is the same way. So Harvey is probably listening in somewhere and enjoying the fact that even if his Golden Beagle isn't going to make it, the R68, T68s will be represented tonight.
Well, there you go. Well, this one may not be a Beagle, but it is a Golden Eagle Mark None.
Mark None or Mark 1, there is the advertisement, the nice color advertisement that was put out by Browning Laboratories back in probably 1966, showing the transmitter receiver. Also the optional external speaker. There were some options with the external speaker, and I think a case that went along with it. I'm assuming you don't have the speaker, at least the one with the Browning logo on it.
No, I never have found the speaker, at least not that I could afford, that I've seen. But no, just the radio and microphone, but yeah, just like the advertisement, other than the external speaker, of course.
Still sounding good. A separate transmitter receiver, you've got to click dial in, because it's crystal controlled, the transmitter. The receiver, got the right picture, here's a variable tuning. And there's a way that you actually request that your transmitter put a very minimal signal into your receiver, dial in, peak out your S meter, and in theory, you're on the same channel, right?
In theory, anyway. Yeah, this one actually lines up and everything, so at this point, I have had them where they didn't quite line up, but this one does.
I guess that's where you look at the S meter and go from there, but yeah, if you look at the dial, you might be thinking, well, am I on channel 11.5? Well, maybe according to the receiver, but you definitely sound like you are where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, now the receiver, the channel knob is very touchy, but it also has a fine tune. So, yeah, you get as close as you can on the main dial, and then you got a little tiny fine tune on there, and you dial that right on in.
Beautiful for for Radio 10. I've got some... Jimmy put up a link to some Browning information. So I'll let you take a transmission. I'll see if I can read that. Usually I sort of pre-read these things, but this may be interesting. And no, it is interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to read it in a manner that makes it such. So back to you for a transmission on the Radio 10, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68.
And there we go. At least there we go. I'll have to get another one on here from Browning so we can get a few more of the birds going here. Well, we've got robins and eagles, and we'll see what else we can bring up.
Perfect stuff. All right, what I'm going to do, let me see if this is the right thing. Here's the picture. I know this is kind of not good, but it is looks like a Christmas party at the Browning Laboratories, because Santa Claus is sort of sitting into the front, and these are all the probably assemblers and traffic workers, if you will, and receptionists for Browning Laboratories. And it says, let's see, installment. Hi, Greg. Your message, we're writing about repair Browning products. It says, I worked for Browning in the 60s. I'm trying to think who is actually talking to us here. I worked for Browning in the 60s. They were located at 100 Union Avenue, 1269 Union Avenue at the O'Shea Industrial Park. I also worked for Tram, which was started by Harry Paul, an engineer for Browning. My mother-in-law, who is now 95 and still very alert, worked for Browning for 20 years. I'm now 70 years old. People in electronics tend to bounce around. I worked for Browning twice and also worked for Tram twice. Tram was started by Harry Paul, one of Browning's first engineers in Laconia, New Hampshire. When employed at Browning, Art Winslow and I converted Browning Drake mobiles to 10 meters AM. Of course, we were also hams. I've talked to some of the guys on 10 AM that have converted the E.F. Johnson radios and the Citaphone radios. I have yet to hear anybody talking on a converted Browning. So maybe something to think about. The 1920s, Browning Drake AM radio was featured in a Browning publication, which I believe was titled The Browning Story. I bought the actual Drake 1920s AM radio that was shown in that publication from Gar Green Jr. in October of 2014. Also says that he has a photo of a Christmas party, which was what we just shot, held at the 100 Union Avenue facility. In the photo are Gar Green Sr., Gar Green Jr., Art Winslow, Phil Nichols. Both were engineers, and Louise Denny, production supervisor. I believe the Santa in the photo is probably Chat Chatterson with his mother-in-law, who is now 95. And he said he's not in the photo because he had taken a job with New England Telephone and Telegraph. The titles of some employees changed from engineer to vice president, technician to engineer, and so on as the company grew. Browning closed their doors mainly because of foreign competition, as the company could not compete with well-designed and lower-priced CB radios, mostly from Japan, and that is not an uncommon story that takes place in the mid-70s, even in the early or the late 60s, and the same thing happened in amateur radio as well for Swan and Drake and Hammerland and Helicrafters and you name it. Anyway, a little bit of history. You can read more about that by going over to the Old Tube CB Radio Network Facebook page. OTR is looking for Radio 11.
Well, number 7.
Speaking of Gar Green and the gang, let me put up the photo again while you get the radio ready. What is it? There it is. I couldn't tell you which one is Gar or something. Probably I see some gentlemen in the back with a tie, but there it is. It looked like a good place to work. I bet everybody had probably a great Christmas turkey that they got and a Christmas bonus and all sorts of good stuff. And these people right here in this photo, if you can see it at oldtuberadio.net, go back and watch the video. Maybe you're watching now. Thank you to all those in this photo for what we are about to do in 2020 and almost 2021 here. The Old Tube Radio Network. One of your children is about to speak. Hello, Ed.
And hello, OTR. Yes, this is the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the Golden Eagle gold-plated D104 attached.
The Mark III SSB came out in a couple of forms. The receiver was definitely the receiver. The transmitter, you could get the AM only. Smaller transmitter, about $200 less for the total package. Or what most people opted, I guess, if they were going to spend the money, the SSB, which combined all the stuff that you needed back in the Mark II days to make that Mark II train. They somehow were able to put it right into that one radio. Back to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the receiver on the Browning Mark III is as good as any other radio that I've ever owned. So it's definitely one of the best. They did a hell of a job.
Yes, they did, and they gave you lots of options with the RF gain control, and of course, as we read there, this was not people that just jumped in at 1962 and said, let's build some radios. They were around in the 1920s, technicians and engineers, as they said, so there was great thought, no doubt, in one, if not trying to be the best, working so that when one of their radios went out, you could be confident that it would be one of the best. And we pretty much proved that here because the Brownings are typically, not always, but typically the most heard manufacturer of the evening. They have a lot of competition, and they always seem to sound good and hold up well, whether the radio was built in 1960 or, like yours, probably somewhere from 1972 to 1976. Back to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this one belonged to one of the other tube operators many years ago, but he had to move away, and, we kept it here, and we're keeping it on the air.
And this is the forum in which to do that, called the Old Tube Radio Network. It has been going on a few years, and like you just heard, our tube radio operators, such as Ed, take pride in their collections, and we're glad that they will spend some time in sharing them with us here and with all of you wherever you may be. Radio number 11, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. It's, as always, sounding good.
And thank you to, and, with that, we'll take a listen.
Jingle singers once again. There's still time. We are at the 10 o'clock hour. But where's the limousine? Okay, they're back.
You're listening in the latest style.
27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio.
In wonderful
Fresno, California.
You gotta love wonderful Fresno. Also say hello to our stations listening in Kenner, Louisiana tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network, something we do here every Saturday. At or near Kenner, I should say. The QTH sometimes isn't exactly where you are, where it's Sunday morning, clear and 44 degrees. Also, who else? Where is this? This is a, I'm not even sure I can pronounce this name. It looks like Lanfair Fican. That is, I'm sure that is totally wrong in the UK. LANFAIRFECHAN. Where it is 6 o'clock Sunday morning. A town and community in Conway County, Borough, Wales, known as the Seaside Resort. Population of 3,755. Listening into the tube radios tonight. Do you? What kind of radios happen there on the coast? Out there in Wales, probably something pretty groovy. Should be able to hear on 20 meters. Probably hear Scotland, Wales, and the UK beaconing in on 20 meters, and maybe when the band opens up here in a couple of years, beaconing here on 11 meters as well. We're listening for radio number 12, I believe. And there is Greg. Yeah, hey Greg, Greg up there up on the hilltop. And we're looking at talking about some of the Browning info. Showed the picture of Gar Green and the Santa and the crew there. Greg says he's got some friends with remote power stations in Southern California listening. Well, hello to the Southern California group. I'm a Southern California person. I grew up and went to high school in Manhattan Beach. Go Mustangs! And we've got you checked in. And who else? Levon's still in from North Charleston, and a host of others. Do some counting and amounting, and Radio 12 if it's available. And the noise level is low tonight, but I'm not hearing that sound that would tell me that we might have any E-skip conditions beaconing in.
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
Greg says he's hoping to hear some of the broadcast when the planes fly over. I'm not sure what planes. The National Guard, Air National Guard, does have a Fresno. I'm not quite on the runway. If I took off all the noise gates, all the downward expanders, might be able to hear something. Probably would hear the fireworks going on outside.
If I have my windows open here when the F-15s go over, you can definitely hear them.
And these are the newer ones, in the last 20 years that are quieter than the ones they had 25 years ago.
Yeah, they're still loud.
Oh, that's true. Greg is trying to do a little it's not quite meteor scatter. It's a little wing bounce scatters. He's probably got the mega loops pointed up over the hill and seeing if we can get through. I think I can sneak through. What is it? The Tehachapi will come up through the railroads that cut through Tehachapi and out that way, and trickle down into Big Bear. I think we're going to have to wait for some ducting. I've heard that happen before, where I hear, and this is during the day, and you get a 20 dB over S9 signal from somebody that's on the I-15 out there in Riverside. And it lasts all about a minute. And then something else comes through. Fun stuff. Nighttime, you never know. Counting and amounting here. We'll be right back.
And don't forget to check in SWL 40.
We got you checked in. You were just barely breaking my squelch when you were on the 2-meter side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was bicycle mobile handy talkie on medium power, which I believe is 1 watt.
Yeah, it was just kicking in and out of my squelch. I was going to try and call you, but then I was afraid I wouldn't be able to hear your response.
Well, I probably would have went to high power if need be, but you probably would have heard me then. But yeah, well, great. That was I was on Palm Avenue at Ashland at that time.
Well, not bad for a watt, making it through all the trees.
Yes, you are definitely correct on that. Okay, I just got back, and now I'm trying to breathe.
All right, relax a little bit, drink some water, and the air gets moist. And I don't think it's foggy out there, but it gets smoky from all the fireplaces. So, yeah, good. Take it easy.
Dennis, am I a little too late to check in my green radio?
No, absolutely not. I was just counting and amounting. Don't have all the radios tallied up yet, and there is a good spot here on Radio 12 at 10:11. Might actually be their last radio for 2020 on the Old Tube Radio Network. As they say on the Bozo bus, give the wheeze a squeeze. Over.
Yeah, 10-4. Doggone it. This is my 11-tube Robin 23 Citizens Band transceiver, better known as the Robin T123B, with a lollipop desk mic. And some modifications that have been done to the radio. A nice pretty dial there for the channels. Of course, it's on 11. And a pretty green meter.
It's got some green. I got a good shot here. This is new format. is really messing me up here. But I want to put it up on the screen, which I will do with some possible clicks of my Moosky Mousey here. All right, there we go. Let's get a closer shot of that. There's the green radio. This one has a little different tone of green than I'm showing, but I'm sure yours is quite nice. And it looks like if you're listening to me, you're also looking at a green RX light as well.
Yeah, the RX light, it is green. The dial, and it has a touch of green on the top of the dial. And it is a real light color green. Quite a few little holes on the sides. I'm not sure if they had type of mics, because if I'm not mistaken, I think this went mobile too.
I do believe that 115 volt, 12 volt DC, if you had the right plug, that was the Panasonic chassis. So it would do that. On the front end, the Robins, I think, got they must have paid extra. They got the treatment with all the knobs and the lights. The range expand, of course, some of those had it, and that had the classic meter. Reminds me of the one I think I had on my Navajo 23. Nice audio, nice, clear, crisp, and not overdone.
Well, we appreciate that. Doggone it. It does have a nice text light, and the modulation light blinks a little more with this desk mic, the Lollipop. It's just a little bit brighter. But other than that, we warmed it up, and boy, I was hoping I could get it checked in there, because when you said you were getting ready to sign out, I said, oh boy, I better get her in there before I lose her.
Could be. Here's somebody made a comment out there, but I didn't quite catch it. I know we have some stations that are trying to work the E layer that get in tonight, so we'll be listening. We've got a lot of stations with some great receivers and transmitters as well. The Robin T123B also used the 12, I think, X7 in the audio department, which is also nice. That radio is just, put the ribbon on it, and it is done. You do not have to do another thing to it.
Well, we're not doing too much to it, boy. We have it sitting here, and we keep her dusted, and I think let alone the attention that we give it, it's not going anywhere, and it's not even going to collect dust. So we appreciate it, Dennis, letting us check this thing in, and it's very comfortable right here where it sits.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Thanks for radio number 12. There are fans of green radios, and that may be an important entry into the radios tonight. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, Dennis.
And you got a couple of thumbs up for the clean sounding audio as well on that.
Well, I appreciate that. You say there's some people out there listening?
Some of our worldwide SWLs are giving it the thumbs up for some nice, clean audio. Sometimes you don't have to do too much to these to be sounding top shelf.
Oh, well, then, okay. I guess I've got a good combination there. Hey, all right, well, we'll let her sit on the old RX light and listen to the rest of the program. Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, will do. I want to say thanks to our Out of the Pocket Protector, our sponsor tonight, D&J Radio Sales. 3 River Falls, Minnesota, back in the day. I wonder if they ever sold any of these, if they were around to sell the Robin radios. Oh, are you still there, Joe? Over.
Oh yeah, Dennis.
All right. Question from one of the listeners, and let me go back to the picture that shows what we are talking about. There was an option, a button that was on the Panasonic chassis, and not all the Panasonic radios had it. I don't know. Like I said, I think you had to pay extra to put it on the front panel. But there's something under the meter called range expand, And are you using that? Is it in the engaged mode, or do you have it off?
I have it on.
Okay. Sometimes we ask people to turn it on and off, but sometimes the switches are a little bit less than stellar, and then you get crackling and popping. So it's perfect. I think if you had more amplification or an amplified microphone or whatever, sometimes the radios are adjusted with them on or with them off. So depending on the microphone you're using, then you have to readjust. But it is on and sounding good. Typically, sometimes you turn it on, it'll give you a little bit more low frequency response as well.
Okay. Yeah, I have the original mic. It's a little bitty guy, and I think even then I had the range expand on. I'm sure I was running it on, but not until I went over to this one here, a little easier, longer cord, and no problem to key up.
Very good. I put the S meter on the video so people could see that is a full quieting signal at about 5 dB over S9. And I'm going to say Joe is could be 5 or 6 miles away, maybe more. Not sure, but putting in a good signal on my antenna, as I always say, is less than stellar and not very high in altitude. All right, so going to be counting and amounting, just about done, and we'll wrap it up here for the Old Tube Radio tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final totals. We'll call it the current and final totals of the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thanks for everybody who took time out to fill us in. There's a lot of things going on. It's kind of hard to jump into the radio room during the holidays, during a holiday gathering. So those who did and were able to do that tonight, we thank you. If you're watching, maybe you missed us live, but you're watching on a replay of the video or listening to the audio archived at oldtuberadio.net. Thanks for listening and all that you have helped us out with through this past year. And just a reminder, we dedicated our radio check-ins tonight to one of our SWLs that has gone over the Rainbow Bridge, Bailey. Very faithful dog tonight. And it's always hard to lose a companion in the radio room. So, Bailey, we know you are listening in with our other fine friends, Feline and dogs, birds. I don't know. Been a lot of, in this 35 years, I'm sure there's been a lot of people who listen in. And like I said, there are shots of Scooter the cat here from a couple years ago. So it's always hard to lose a friend. So dedicating things tonight to Bailey. Radios tonight, there were 12 of them. It looks like my tube count goes up to, we just added the 12. Let's make that 154 out of the 12 radios. SWLs tonight, to 15 on page 1, 17 on page 2, 17 on page 3, and 15 on page 4, for a total of 64. New 8-week roster here. If you're playing the home game, make sure that you put SWL 45 Paul in the 00 position. And everybody's saying, who is the most heard radio manufacturer tonight? Well, thanks to that last check-in, we talked about the name Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, for a radio manufacturer. So the daughter of whoever that was that owned the company did pretty good, as the last radio put the Robins in a tie with the Golden Eagles tonight at 3 apiece. Started off with the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, and that was from Jerry SWL 25 out there in Madera. Then radio number 2 was the Pierce Simpson
Hey, I think
Companion.
I hear you, Harvey. You're barely coming in. W6OTR to W6.
And it sounds like Harvey is probably on his way, so we might get a crossband to check in. Pierce Simpson Companion, radio number 2. The Robin at T123 was from Ed. That was radio number 3. Radio number 4, the Cobra Cam 88. For those of you who are thinking about doing some high-fidelity audio, these 2 radios are a great way to do that in the AM mode. And if you get one that has the capability of some wideband audio and a wide filter, like they say, it is up to you to figure out the compression, the limiting, and the equalization to make it sound as good as Dennis did on the Cobra Cam 88 tonight for Radio 4. Radio 5, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, out of the box sounding good. Thanks, Chris, for that. Radio 6, the Robin T240D. That's from Curious Kid. And probably munching on some almonds as he keys down the microphonium. It sounds good. Good to have you back on the list, Jerry, for 2020. 240D is always sounding good. The Chris 23 Plus, Radio 7 from Go Boy. Radio 8, the Tram TR27E from Mr. Ed. Hustler on the EF Johnson Messenger 223. Radio 9, Radio 10, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68, the Mark None, as they call it. Ed on that for Radio 10. He followed that with the Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. And then, as you just heard moments ago, the Robin T123 just working ever so effortlessly tonight for radio number 12. And I'll take a break here and see if we have another SWL check-in.
Harvey's on his way in, so check him in.
All right, I heard you on the 2-meter side, but he was too far away from my low antenna, but we will get him checked in coming back. So sounds like he's making it in safe and sound.
Seems that way.
Okay, and then next week, I will take the totals that I have for all the info for 2020. And when is next week's episode? We'll be on the 2nd, I believe. Yeah, on the 2nd, and I will try and get a semi-accurate total on what was the most, maybe the top 5. We always have you guess what the top 5 radio manufacturers checked in for 2020 is. So we'll do that next week, find out who the top radio checked in, but we'll go through the top 5. Who do you think the top 5 radio manufacturers that you heard through 2020 were? We'll give it to our staff and have them tally up the totals, and that'll be for next week in the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks everybody for your participation. As we say, we can't do it without you. We could be here, but we'd be listening to the static, waiting for the planes to fly over to see if we can hear the big guns out of SoCal. OTR standing by. And good night, everybody. Good night to Popcorn 13. If I didn't say hello, Smarty Jones is in there. I'm refreshing the comments on the other page, which takes about a minute to see if there's any questions we need to check in. And then let me give the Harvey SWL 20, the official SWL check-in on the big board, OTR. I'm listening to see if I hear any of the AM guys on 75. And if they're there, they're just not strong enough to make it through on the receiver.
Oh, I told you last night.
But sideband seems to be alive and well. And let me turn that down. Chrissy has a question for somebody. I will before I sign off. Let's see if we can answer that question over. Or maybe the question is being answered. Yeah, 14655, a simplex frequency. We have done Echo Link before. When I have it set up, it's kind of a logistic nightmare to get everything to work. But a couple of our stations, I think, have checked in. I know John out of Fairfax, Virginia, has talked to us before. We talked to Larry, Radio Ham Guy. I have the ability, and I just checked it out last night, to maybe set up a Wires X room for those who would do Wires X, but some ability for some of our other stations to maybe take a 5-minute break and check in that way. I've got the phone patch here. Might try and put in the phone patch. Everything's digital now. Go back to the analog phone patch and maybe chat with Jimmy and Greg and some of the guys out that way as well. There's Zoom. There's a lot of ways to do it. So it's again, when you start doing audio capture and sound cards and video cards, you got to be careful when you open another app that wants to take control of something. So sometimes the old-fashioned ways, or something that's not connected to all the settings up of the main OTR stuff, will work out for that. We will see. Yeah, Keith, mine's been sitting here for months and months, and I just last night signed up and got hooked in and found out there's some local repeaters, but I have yet to get anybody on the C4 FDM, so we'll talk about that. But we might be able to set up a little Wires X thing as well. That could be cool. Keith mentioning that he has got that, but hasn't checked it out yet either. It's a little daunting, but depending on the radio you have and the fact that you may need someone local close by to have a link, if you don't do it yourself, it'll work.
You're being paged on 2 meters.
All right, let me bring up the 2 meter link here and see if we can get an official check-in. KB6 GFT.
There you are, Dennis. Finally made it back into town.
All right, well, I hear you. We'll patch you into the crossband. You're just breaking in and out of my squelch, but I hope you've had a great trip and did a lot of cool stuff, and we are getting you checked in over. He's probably out of my squelch level here.
Back to you, Harvey. Did you hear him on Keith? Okay.
AB6 GFT. But I did get him checked in, and Greg has mentioned 3880. Yeah, I'm not hearing any of the. I'm not hearing any of the AM carriers on the HF here. But again, I'm using a 40 meter vertical for 75, so that's less than stellar. So I'm listening to the kilowatt guys at 3889 probably. Yeah, I've got. Somebody's asking if I'm listening on 75. I've got the. There's the guys at 3889. I'm thinking because of. I'm listening, on a 40 meter antenna, that you're going to have about 400 watts for me to, if you're in the zone, for me to hear anything over.
Henrietta is a little different looking than the other three chicks.
There's a couple of guys on 160. That's at 1945.
Those other three, they're all the same as each other.
I think those guys that run some of the AM on 3870. So the 40-meter vertical working on 160
You
here.
know, no eggs yet or anything like that. And Henrietta goes buck, buck, buck like a chicken. Now, the other...
I think that's one of the AM guys.
Go tweet, tweet, tweet like little baby chicks.
Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. I'll go ahead and sign out here. We're not getting any of the E-skip. I wouldn't even try. I'm not even going to try the 10-meter beacons. Okay, and let me bring this down. Still got the stream up. Chrissy says she has another question, maybe, for me. All right, who has a question for me before I pull, what do they say? Pull the big switch. 3880. Let me tune in 3880 in the background. See, those are the guys at 84. That's how bad my antenna is at 3884. If you're on an SDR in Utah or whatever, they'd be probably 20 over. And
I've got a question for you, Dennis.
Okay,
when are you going to put the 2-meter antenna up high? W6 OTR.
You know, I just changed to a Comet GP3 or something. It's actually a much better antenna, but it's still only about 5 feet up in the camphor tree. So sooner than later, if I put up the small little tower again, KB6 GFD.
Okay, I just got home, Dennis. Alrighty, I'm pulling in the driveway. Thanks a whole lot. Check in 135 also. W6 OTR.
Yeah, I got him live and direct earlier, so good deal. All right, stay safe, and we'll talk to you a little bit maybe on the other one, KB6 GFD.
Hey, Roger, I'll see if I can fire it up there. W6 OTR.
Okay, any questions before I get out of here? Oh, Boston 97. You know, let me see. Because I don't think that number exists. There's a lot of numbers that don't exist, but we have, I had just re-upped the sheet. And because of how we've done with this for the last 35 years, there's a lot of numbers missing because we had to pare down the list. However, it's Boston 97. I did some configuring because I sort of anticipated these questions to the availability of the stuff I had left. So Mr. Boston 97. All right, I'll show you. Are you watching the video? I actually put in a 97. It didn't exist. It didn't exist last week. So there you go. We call you a digital shortwave listener. Boston 97 is now SWL 97. I just had some space, so that one won't get taken off. Go, what email am I using? You can do anything at mycall.com. Also, I think I have an email listed on my QRZ page. But I think you can send anything to, you know, like WiresX or OTR at KB6GFD.com, Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. And we can work on the WiresX. There's all sorts of rooms you get into, and there's a lot of protocol that I don't know, and I hate to just jump into something and start keying the microphone when I don't know what I'm doing. So, but I did get the display screen on it's a 400, the issue 400 is sitting up on the desk here. It's very new to the shack here, so yeah. Keith, do that, and we'll see. But maybe we can figure out something, because I've yet to make a contact for fear of doing it wrong. We're still on 3880. See, that's the problem, Greg. I'm just... Oh, I hear that. Okay. There it is. There's the carrier. I'll listen to you guys on the SDR. I'll have to bring up the SDR on the other radio because I'm definitely not going to be hearing you on the 40 meter vertical. I don't think. Gonna run out of film. We're still going here. Isn't that how it works? Gonna run out of videotape or film or something like that? All right, I got one thing I'm gonna check here. All right, we'll try this since I'm still up here. Bringing up the web SDR, going to 3880. See if I hear anything. See, I don't... Hey, there you go. Let me go to the AM mode here. See if we can hear you out of Utah. I see the signal. Somebody was good. I'm hearing the sideband, guys. Let me roll them off.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's see if he says he can go there. He's on an SDR.
Okay, 72, what was it, frequency, 7240?
Oh, okay. You know, I'm just going to move there right now.
7240, all right, I'll catch you.
Yeah, I'll see what's right. Let's see if we can make a go of it. I don't even know if this radio, the auto-tuner, will tune it. I could hook my external tuner up real quick, but let's see what happens.
All right, I'm going to say, I'm assuming you guys are ground wave or close, because you go to 7240. The band is going to be super long. I'll see if I can hear you. I hear you on 3880. We'll go to 7240 on the SDR. I don't have a good picture for the SDR radio here. Heading over to 40 phone. And we're moving down to 7240. Listening for a carrier. I don't think I'm going to hear anybody in California on 7240. The 3880 was a better bet, especially if you're in Southern California. There's the AM broadcast station at 7235, so you guys are probably going to get some crumbs off of that because I can see it spilling into 7240. In fact, I have to roll off the lower sideband to do that. But listening at 7240, again, if you're in California, I think that's right. I'm listening in Utah, right? So it may actually be good. I keep forgetting this new technology. I'm here, you're over there, and the SDR is somewhere over there. Oh, and Larry 75, did I know I can accept donations of funds? Well, that is not, who said that? That is not what we do. We've been doing this 35 years. We've never accepted any donations. That's not the point. The point is to get on the radio and do whatever you do on a Saturday evening. Yeah, the 7235 broadcast station is putting out a lot of crumbs there on the lower side of the AM. OTR standing by. All right, let's see. What do we want to look at? Let's look at the band meter. Back to 3880. I agree on the 3880. And there it is. I'll roll off the guys at 3884. And in fact, I don't see any other AM carriers on there. Nothing at 3870, 3885. I guess it's too late for these guys. There's somebody coming in. See if we get the audio before I sign out here. Listening in Utah, from the SDR out of Utah. band is just not too good, is it? Are you guys on sideband? Yeah, let me go to... Doesn't look like you're switched to sideband. Boy, if he's on AM, we just can't copy him. Now you're Larry. There it is. There we go.
Kilowatt India 6, India, Uniform, Juliet, near Big Bear Lake.
All right, good transmission that time, Greg. All right. Hearing Greg out of Big Bear. Hearing Larry from downtown on the lower side.
Whiskey 6 Echo Delta Charlie. Hello, Larry. I'm just trying to get a shot. W6EDC.
All right, you're just coming in above my nose. I've got about a 7-10 nose on it here.
Yeah, you're about the same on the wire. W6EDC, go ahead.
All right, guys. Normally I've got my stuff together. Did everything taken down? Thought I was leaving town for a while.
Yeah, I don't have a vertical.
Outboard.
Horizontal on the wire. Hey, was that W6EDC clear?
70%.
No, it's interesting. You're not hearing me. I think I might not have the same path you have, Greg.
They're pretty good hearing the local guys on lower sideband. They're being product detected by the guys on AM out of Southern California. Trying to roll off the guys at 3884.
I guess I'll try to work with this a little bit. You're hearing Greg, but you're not hearing me.
All right, I'm hearing you that time. And that's out of Utah SDR. Yeah, Chrissy, I should sell some of my chocolate chip cookies, huh? My problem is time, getting the time to put the stuff up and fix the things I need. That's what I need to do. So I'm hoping 2021 I'll have a little more time at some point. Right? It's matching that time and the money. Yeah, the SDR is for 83. The SDR is in receive only. Okay, sounding good. I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream here. But things are working. I think just the bands will be getting better. Yeah, not a problem. It's just, I think the conditions are less than stellar tonight. And there's, at least on the SDR, there's, I think it's a 3884s or 3883, those guys. But I can roll them off. I can roll off the upper side and still hear you guys okay. We all need cookies to get through this. The good kind of cookies. Almost looks like there's a carrier on the 3885. I don't hear any good audio out of it. I probably should go to the one in California. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream. Hey, there's Gunther making it in. We're kind of playing around on the amateur radio side, listening to the SDR and kind of SWLing who's out there doing some AM stuff, some 2-meter stuff, but we're getting ready to drop it here. We're working on these super stations. What do they say? 100 watts in a wire. Got a 60-second delay. Wow. Because the SDR has no delay. So yeah, over the internet, that's the deal. Hey, no problem, Greg. Sounds like fun. I'm still working on putting my station back together here, but definitely heard both you guys. The 3880 is the way to go, or at least for the band conditions. Although when 75 is in, you know, the West Coast at night should be a piece of cake. Just we don't have any conditions. Talk to y'all later.
The big man just dropped this big hammer on the southwest tip, and I'm reading the mail.
And he's back out. So, somebody just got down on 3880.
Get down to your bad stuff. Okay, 6 VLS.
Oh, I know what I got to do. I got to put you guys in echo effect.
Oh, you know what? Let's see. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I see your wide AM signal on there.
Wow, spooky.
I love it. Static crashes in stereo.
It almost sounds like quadraphonic over here. Are you hearing me from the Utah receiver?
I am hearing you from the Utah receiver. That's what the things. I can see your signal is pretty wide.
Six kilohertz wide. Kilohertz. Over.
Okay. Not bad. I see. Don't see a lot of audio, but I can see the carrier. And I'm rolling off the guys at 3884. All right, I'll get out of here. Who was it? WA6MFJ.
I got my carrier. How's that?
You dropped your carrier. Actually, you want more carrier. There's a carrier right now.
Okay. There's 100 watts. 100 watts. Over.
Well, if that AM, I didn't think that radio would do 100 watts AM. It shouldn't do 100 watts AM. It probably should only be doing about 40 at max. But I hear you. We're hearing you in Utah. The SWLs are hearing you in Utah. So we got conditions from Central California to the SDR. Southern California, it seemed like it wasn't as good, which is strange.
Cruising this antique fall on the west side, and I got down.
Yeah, there you go. I'm getting a negative harmonic from 11 meters there. That signal's looking pretty good. He must have patched into John's Motormouth's 135-foot boom beam. Yeah, Gunther, we're listening to Utah at 3880. And it was Bobby West, W6MFJ, that says some people bring happiness to the frequency by signing on, and others by signing off. That's my cue to get out of here, I think. Good night, everybody. We will catch you on some frequency somewhere, sometime. The Old Tube Radio Network.